Hey everyone, I'm Ian Norman from Photon Collective, and today I want to talk about a method of averaging layers in Photoshop. There's a number of different reasons why you'd want to do this. One of them is to reduce noise, and in one of my other videos I showed how to use this method to actually increase the resolution of a photo. On that video I actually got the averaging method incorrect, and so this video is kind of a correction to that one. So I'll go ahead and walk through how to average layers in Photoshop the right way this time. So there's a couple different ways to average the layers together. The first and simplest method is to use a Smart Object stack mode. And the easiest way to do that is to select all of the layers. And then we can right click and turn all of those layers into a Smart Object by clicking Convert to Smart Object. So this method will vary depending on how quick your computer is. So I'll also show you an alternative method that should be a little bit quicker in terms of processing time. So now that all of our layers have been converted into a Smart Object, we can tell Photoshop to average all of our layers together so that each layer contributes an equal amount to the final image. We can do this by going up to Layer, and then Smart Objects, and then Stack Mode, and then we can choose Mean. And Mean will give us the average of all of the layers. And another useful option is Median, which if you end up having a lot of moving objects in your image, Median will help prevent with ghosting a little bit. But for this demonstration, I'm just going to go ahead and use Mean. Alright, now that that's finished, we've got all of our layers averaged together. This method usually requires a little bit of extra processing time, and if you're not using the latest version of Adobe Photoshop CC or Adobe Photoshop CS6 Extended, Smart Object Stack Modes won't be available to you. So there's a more rudimentary method for averaging all of your layers together if you have an older version of Photoshop or you don't want to wait for the Smart Object to generate or the Stack Mode to process. And that's just by using different layer opacities. So I'm going to go ahead and step back in the history here. In order to get a proper average, we'll start with the very bottom layer and work our way up. And the formula for calculating the opacity is 1 divided by the layer number, where 1 is the bottom layer. So the bottom layer stays at 100% at 1 over 1. And the second layer ends up becoming 1 over 2, or 1/2, which is 50%, so we'll set the opacity to 50%. And the third layer becomes 1 over 3, which is about 33%. And the fourth layer is 1 over 4, or about 25%. And the fifth layer becomes 1 over 5, which is 20%. And eventually we'll end up with a little bit of rounding error, but the sequence of numbers that we're going to end up using are 100, 50, 33, 25, 20, 17, 14, 13, 11, 10, 9, 8, 8, 7, 7, 6, 6, 6, 5, and 5. And if you just set all of your layer opacities to about there, that'll give you a pretty rough average for averaging all of the layers together. Alright, so that's averaging layers in Photoshop. Once again, I'm Ian Norman from the Photon Collective. Check out all of our tutorials, gear reviews, and inspiration on photoncollective.com. See ya!